Not too long ago, your Friday night started at Blockbuster. You'd walk in, see that giant blue wall of movies, hoping the one you wanted wasn't already rented out, and maybe grab some overpriced candy or a game on the way out. It wasn't just a store, it was a whole event. But now there's only one Blockbuster left on Earth. Just one. The rest? Gone. And yeah, most people might tell you that Netflix killed it, but honestly, Blockbuster had plenty of chances to survive. They just blew it. What really happened to the biggest rental empire of the planet? How'd it go from everywhere to nowhere?
Blockbuster had 9,000 locations, but then Netflix came along.
Blockbuster's parent company, Dish, announced today 300 stores in the United States will close in January.
Alaska's last two Blockbuster video stores are calling it quits, leaving just one store open in the U.S.
It may be hard to sympathize with the company that got away with charging $4.99 to rent VHS copies of Jumpin' Jack Flash back in the day and imposed late fees that even loan sharks would find excessive.
Blockbuster started in 1985, and it didn't take too long for it to completely take over.
I've never seen 10,000 tapes in one store.
There's so much kid stuff.
And I can keep them for 3 evenings.
Now this is a video store.
Ordinary video stores don't even come close to Blockbuster Video. You've just got to see it to know what we mean.
Wow. Wow.
Wow, what a difference. Blockbuster Video.
Come discover the Blockbuster difference.
By the early 90s, it was wiping out small mom and pop video stores left and right. It was sleek, it was corporate, it had everything, and by the 2000s, it was the movie rental industry. But the real power of Blockbuster wasn't just in size, it was the whole experience. You'd walk through those glass doors on a Friday night, blue and yellow signs everywhere, rows of tapes or DVDs staring back at you. The new releases were always lined up in the front, and half of them were already gone. You would spend way too long wandering the aisles with your parents, your friends, your siblings, looking for the one, arguing over whether to rent a comedy or a horror movie, maybe picking up a game that you never heard of just because the cover looked cool. And after picking up the movie, there was still one more decision. What snack to grab for the night? From the sweet to the savory, the choices felt endless. I'd usually go with a box of Bunch Crunches and mix it into my freshly popped popcorn. At its peak, Blockbuster had over 9,000 stores worldwide. That's not just success, that's cultural dominance. It became a symbol of suburban life in the late 90s and early 2000s. The glowing blue signs in the strip mall down the street, the plastic clamshell case with the yellow logo, the smell of plastic and stale popcorn. That was Blockbuster. It wasn't just a place to rent movies. It was the start of a weekend. Blockbuster had everything: size, brand recognition, loyal customers. But it turns out none of that mattered when you just refused to adapt. In the early 2000s, a small company called Netflix started mailing DVDs to people's homes. No stores, no late fees, just movies straight sent to your mailbox.
There's a better way to rent movies. As many as you want for only $17.99 a month and no late fees. Go to Netflix.com, make a list of the movies you want to see, and in about 1 business day, you'll get 3 DVDs. Keep them as long as you want, without late fees. Then when you're done, look, prepaid envelopes. Return one, and they'll send you another movie from your list. It's easy.
Netflix. All the movies you want, only $17.99 a month and no late fees.
It wasn't flashy, but it was convenient, and Blockbuster didn't take it seriously. In fact, in the year 2000, Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster just for $50 million. And Blockbuster's response? Well, they simply just laughed them out of the room.
In come the Blockbuster guys, and we make our pitch. We go, we'll combine forces. You'll run the stores. We'll run the online business. We'll build a blended model. And it was going good. You know, they were asking good questions. They were leaning in. And then they asked the big question, you know, how much? And we figured we're $50 million in the hole. So $50 million. And there's this silence in the room. Blockbuster execs trying to piece together what the reaction is. And it finally dawns on me they're trying to suppress laughter. They're trying to keep a straight face that this little company, $50 million in debt, at the trough of the meltdown, could possibly be worth $50 million.
While Netflix slowly built itself a subscriber base, Blockbuster kept pushing stores. They held on to late fees, which people absolutely grew to hate. They started weird partnerships like trying to sell Dish networks in store, and just kept ignoring the shift to digital. When they tried to launch their own DVD by mail service to compete with Netflix in 2004, it was just too late. In attempts to remain competitive, in 2005, Blockbuster ran a No More Late Fees campaign.
Someday, you'll remember where you were when you heard that there are no more late fees at Blockbuster. Need an extra day or two with your movies and games? Go ahead. Take them.
It's so beautiful.
Thank you. The end of late fees. The start of more. The new Blockbuster.
And when Netflix pivoted again to streaming in 2007, Blockbuster didn't have any answers. They were slow, stubborn, and still betting on people wanting to drive to stores in a world that was changing fast. And by 2010, the company filed for bankruptcy. Years of ignoring tech trends, clinging to old models, and just flat out bad decisions finally caught up. It didn't matter how big they were. 9,000 stores at their peak. When customers stopped showing up, the walls start closing in fast. That same year, Dish Network swooped in and bought what was left of Blockbuster for about $320 million. It sounded like a lifeline at that time, but Dish really didn't know what to do with it. They made a few half-hearted attempts to revive the brand, a short-lived Blockbuster streaming service, some promo tie-ins, but none of it stuck. Meanwhile, the stores were just disappearing. In 2013, Dish closed down the remaining 300 corporate-owned Blockbusters in the US. So from 9,000 stores around the world down to just one, a single Blockbuster, still running somehow out in Bend, Oregon. And honestly, that lone store feels more like a tribute than a business. That one exact remaining store has just become a full-blown tourist destination. People are driving hours just to walk aisles, snap a selfie under the logo, and rent a movie like it's 2003. In 2020, they even partnered with Airbnb to let people sleep over in the store. A full 90s style living room setup, beanbags, snacks, VHS tapes, the whole thing. And if you've seen a Blockbuster t-shirt lately, you're not imagining it. The nostalgia branding is strong. There have been merch drop, fashion collabs, and even ironic commercials.
When the world ends and the internet streams no more, we'll still be here.
Hey, Steve.
Blockbuster has basically solidified itself as an icon in the retro pop culture. But the company itself, that's a different story. The official website Blockbuster.com just redirects to the Dish network, and Dish doesn't seem to have any real plans for the brand. It's mostly dormant. Even now and then, there are rumors of revivals. The website changed slightly in 2023, and people got hyped thinking Blockbuster might be coming back, but so far nothing real. At this point, Blockbuster exists more in our memory than in reality. The reason Blockbuster sticks with people, even now, isn't just because of the movies. It was the experience. Walking into a Blockbuster on a Friday night was a ritual. The fluorescent lights, the plastic smell, the walls stacked with movie covers. It felt like the whole weekend was ahead of you. There was no algorithm telling you what to watch, no endless scrolling. You actually had to browse, read the back of the DVD box, judge the cover, argue with your siblings over which game to rent. It was a social thing. You ran into friends, made plans in the aisle, and sometimes spent more time choosing the movie than watching it. And there was just something about that moment, picking the one movie for that night, carrying up to the counter with a bag of popcorn and maybe a last-minute candy grab. It felt like you were creating a little event. Today, streaming might be easier, but it doesn't feel the same. Blockbuster might be gone, but the feeling doesn't have to disappear with it. When you look at your own shelves full of DVDs, Blu-rays, and games, you're holding on to more than just plastic cases. You're holding on to a ritual, that moment of choosing a movie, the excitement of revisiting an old favorite, the simple joy of sharing those stories with friends or family. In a world where everything is just a click away, having a physical collection is like keeping a little bit of that magic alive right in your own living room. So if you miss the Blockbuster feeling, don't wait. Start building up your own stash of classics and hidden gems. Because sometimes the best way to keep those memories alive is to make new ones with them. So go out there, have fun hunting for some childhood classics, and as always, stay nostalgic.
Come discover the Blockbuster difference.
Hello? Anyone still there? Have you forgotten about us?